I know I'm a bit late on this one, but recently I've been watching several videos on this particular subject, and they all fail in a very particular way, no matter how well thought out or entertaining they may be. Every argument for either fighter winning this is made from a position of ignorance. And no, I don't mean that in the way you think. Here's the thing. Even assuming the calculations done for Omniman are correct, which is a rather big assumption considering some of the bizarre inconsistencies in comics in general, his opponent, Metroman, can simply not be calculated in the same way. This is because in the film, he never has to push himself. Everything we see him do is done in an overtly casual manner. Even the existential crisis scene, there is no strain or sign that he is actually trying. As for Titan, using him as a baseline is honestly a deeply flawed concept in and of itself. We do not know if Titan is anywhere near as powerful as Metroman. I am personally convinced he is gravely inferior to Metroman, being created from DNA extracted from Metroman's dandruff and jammed into a human body, but that is not an argument from fact, merely a personal opinion. Speaking of Titan, the skyscraper feat. He did this pretty much effortlessly. So even if you calculated the strength it would take, that would be in no way Titan's full strength. And as stated before, we don't even know if it would actually reflect on Metroman. And I can't forget to mention, he doesn't even seem to have the same speed. Now that does bring up the speed feat. Second verse, same as the first. Metroman did this without any noticeable effort or strain. As such, calculating his real speed based on this scene is simply pointless. It would be like judging an Olympic sprinter on their speed while they were sitting down. Now for the laser vision. Again, we only see it used without any effort. From both Metroman and Titan, there's no telling how much heat it can actually generate. Even knowing whether one has more experience is kind of iffy. I would normally say it's safe to give it to Omniman, being that he is very old. But we only see a tiny amount of Metroman's history, so there's no telling if he's had any comic book time shenanigans. So taking all of this into account, Metroman could scale anywhere from large town level all the way up to multiversal or even higher for all anyone really knows. I'm not saying that's likely. It is, however, a possibility. All this being said, is it possible one fighter manages to curb stomp the other? Yes, but there's really no way to tell who does the stomping with the information we have. After all, even Megamind, a super genius who has every reason to study Metroman, and creates a working serum to copy his powers, doesn't know what he's actually capable of. Remember, he likely didn't know how fast Metroman really was. In fact, I suspect that was almost certain. As he didn't seem to know Metroman could have an entire existential crisis within what had to be less than a second at an extreme lowball. It could have been much faster. Honestly, if there's ever a sequel or a standalone Metroman movie, we might gain more insight into Metroman's limits. But as of right now, there is simply no way to properly scale Metroman. As fun as speculating might be, I should know, I greatly enjoy a good fictional throwdown. Well, I just wanted to get that off my chest. Thank y'all for listening to my inane ramblings.